Go live. And looks like, oh, I guess YouTube here. Hey, everybody, I think that we are live. I do need to try out our YouTube here to make sure that we are. It looks like it says live now. Okay.
Oh, good.
So, welcome to the Reinventing the Tattoo Community / mobile app. This is Art Night with Renee Little, Octopus Edition. And it seems like there's either the first and the last Mondays or frequent Mondays. Renee has paint nights from her studio, so we're very grateful to be able to beam in. Earlier today, we had a couple of streams. We had a Let's Talk Tattoo with Mark Lascarbo from Needle Jig. And then Monday mornings, we do the Reinventing Drawing Group with Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network. Okay, while we're testing, please let us know that if you're watching in the chat rooms, there are links to zoom in. If you are an artist who is painting, then you should be joining the Reinventing the Tattoo app. And when you go to the event, you'll see the links. Actually, let me screen share real quick here, and we can see. Boom! Here we go. This is the Reinventing the Tattoo community, and you'll see here is our events listing. And this is the upcoming events that we've got going on. How to build a Paul Rogers style prefab tattoo machine with Tony Urbanek is tomorrow, Tuesday at 10 a.m. Wednesday at 10 a.m. we've got World Tattoo Events. Alex Van Dutch, he runs the biggest tattoo convention event site. He's interviewing Bijay Shirsetha. My pronunciation's horrible, I'm sorry, but it's going to be an amazing interview. This fella is the producer of the Nepal Tattoo Convention. Wednesday at noon on the 27th, we've got, right after that, we have digital editing for inkjet stencils. One of our sponsors and a tattooer is going to walk us through step-by-step making inkjet stencils. It's going to be pretty awesome. The Tattoo Collecting Podcast is every Thursday at noon, where Fawn Baker and Jordan Ruckus interview amazing tattoo collectors. It's great for tattoo artists to hear it from the collector's side, as well as tattoo collectors and people just interested in tattoos. Let's see, and then we have a Reinventing Drawing Group, our Sunday drawing group. Usually it's at 1 o'clock on Sundays. This time it's going to be at 5 o'clock on Saturday with Devin Cooley and Jason Lesser. And Devin's a tattooer from Boston. He's got a great style, and it's going to be pretty cool. Devin's going to kind of dive through his process a little bit, as opposed to the just straight up open draws. Then on the 31st at 9 o'clock, we've got a still life with Nick Baxter. It's at 9 o'clock. And yeah, if you haven't taken any of Nick's classes, his art jams are pretty stellar. There's links here in this event listing to his still life gallery, to the landscape replay. So we did a replay, it's like 2 or 3 hours. It's awesome. From start to finish of a landscape painting. And then, of course, the watch live links. We've got Hablamos de Arte with Bruno. This is an art jam that's in Spanish. We're talking with Stefano Fabriti about doing an art jam in Italian. And yeah, if you're in the website, if you just kind of click all the way to the bottom, click past events, you'll see all of the other events that are coming up. This is where you could watch live. This is where the Zoom link is for this. And then, yeah, hopefully some of you will join us. Afterwards, at 9 o'clock every Monday, is the Reinventing the Tattoo subscribers group exercise exclusively with Guy Aitchison. And it's pretty awesome. If you are ever interested in any of the replays, if you scroll down here to the library, and we have a video section. There's also an art history section that's pretty sweet. Tattoo timeline, all these other things are cool. But in the video section, we have all of the replays from the Reinventing podcast, Tattoo Collecting podcast, the Reinventing Drawing Group, the art jams. All of this stuff is right here, and it's just growing every week. We're streaming out 5 to 7 times. So thank you very much for doing so. We do want to thank our sponsor, Inkjet Stencils. And you could check out their directory, their folder. There's a whole group here for stencil porn if you upload to their group. And there's also examples with back pieces being printed out by Andre in one shot. He's got this one massive printer And yeah, so check out Andre Malcolm either on the Reinvented community or on the Instagrams. And he's just printing out crazy stencils, sleeves, back pieces, all sorts of madness. Okay, that is it for this intro. I'm going to kind of beam out and stay in the background and leave it to Renee. I'm going to pass it off to Renee. And we have Tanner's already beaming in. And like I said, if you're interested in beaming in yourself, reinventing the tattoo app, check out the events link on the website. You do need to scroll all the way down to the bottom, go to past links to see the Zoom link. If you're on the app, you'll just see it right there. Okay. Thank you very much. Woohoo.
Woohoo. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Gabe, for the wonderful intro. How's everybody doing? A second note, I'm really excited actually about that Nick Baxter still life. That would be really, really fun. But tonight we're going to talk about octopuses and how octopi, however you want to say, and how I kind of approach them, because there's a million ways to actually draw them. So I like drawing from like the core structure of them and moving outwards with the texture. I do, I've been painting octopuses for about 10 years now, consistently, and painting for well over 25 years. And for some reason, I'm stuck on these little buggers. Yeah, Tanner is about to join us. I think he's just fixing his audios. And he's a coworker here with me at Goldfang Gallery in Oklahoma. And yeah, if you're ever in the area, stop on by. You can see all my octopuses and all the other art that I've kind of accumulated over the last 15 years of tattooing. And it's pretty cool. So let's get started. I started pre-drawing a little bit because I couldn't help myself. And tonight I basically found this reference of an octopus's eye, like his eye being closed. And so everyone knows too, I do say octopuses out of habit. The octopus is just like a single entity, and octopi is several. But we can have fun with it because they're weird little alien creatures. And, we can give them some respect with just saying the mighty octopus. And that's why I kind of say it like that on my comments. But I thought it was a very interesting photo of just like their eyes being closed, because it shows all the wrinkles and folds. And what I really, really come to understand about the octopus of how they move around and how they're able to suck themselves into little pinholes is that even their textures come from their fluids being able to be pushed around into different sacs throughout their entire body. And as they need to squeeze and flatten one area, all of that fluid can rush to another part. So as they're blinking or they're, giving their eye like a little bit of strain, there's these special little folds and special little textures that come out. And it's really quite interesting just watching them breathe. If you're ever at an aquarium, just sit and watch them, because it's pretty incredible how they distribute their overall like insides and their textures, and everything is just how they move and how they perceive like what their environment is around them. So you can have a lot of really cool color play, and that's usually why I choose them as kind of like my main staple. If I don't know what I want to paint, then I'll just paint the octopus. So first I really try to loosen myself up as much as possible, because octopus, they are very natural flowing creatures. There's a lot of chaos to them. There's a lot of just like spontaneity in their movements and their textures, but you can kind of get a grasp and know where to start. So they're just not starfish. You can always do an octopus and then starfish its little tentacles out. They start off their tentacles as a spiral. Over time, an octopus will lose one of its arms, and it will grow back amazingly as like a tiny, tiny little spirally arm. So they always have that tension, and maybe it's because I studied dancers when I first was art school. I love showing like their tension and their full range of motion with like keeping their entire body activated. As they say in yoga, a lot of times, like keep your body activated. All your muscles are activated at the same time. And that's kind of how they generally live, if they're not just like floating and coasting. So there's always this high intensity towards the very end of their tentacle. So you can kind of come out in these nice, robust chunky arms from their core head and body. And then towards the end, more than likely, they'll always have some nice little curl to it. And that's how I think about it. You know, you're kind of flipping your arm up and then it's curling at the end, like a fist, like a ball. Unless they're like reaching and feeling for something, but then they're going to grab it. You know, one of my favorite things is to just paint an octopus is doing something. Like one of my friends had me paint this octopus playing with a bubble wand, like in the water. And it was so much fun because I could show it grabbing the wand and then grabbing the little bubbles and just kind of like having fun like a little kid, you know. But a lot of character just through their many, many arms. So I start with my body, and here I have kind of like my eyes set up. And then I try to just really give them a nice forehead. It's like the very center of their nose. I want to think of that. And then I'm going to do an offset eye on the other side and have that head come around. And I don't know, Gabe, can you see? I just want to make sure everyone can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Tanner, I don't know if Tanner, if you could get your phone to be horizontal, that would fill out the camera a little bit, but it's also fine. Yeah, that's going to be great. Yeah, if you just reposition that so that the painting center, then we get a wider view of it all.
Oh yeah, there you go. Tanner, is your audio working?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hey. Okay, just making sure you're here. Okay, cool. So, let's see. Okay, we're all good. So you go in from the head, and we all know they have 8 arms unless they get attacked by a shark. And then I kind of go in with a big spiral, like a really loosey-goosey spiral. And that is actually like, I never really do like a straight line to find my tentacles. I'll kind of know, adjust where I want it about, but then I'll go in with a spiral and I'll just make a complete spiral all the way around. And what that does is it lets me see the thickness of the tentacle. And actually I can make it really thick coming from the body, and then I can make it really thin as I'm coming around. And then it's giving me pre-motion lines as well when it starts curling and folding around like that. And then once that's in, I can see where I want my tentacles, where I want the little suction cups to come up. They'll never be, of course, on top of the tentacle. They'll always come from the bottom. So like a snake tummy for those, you know, beautiful tattoo artists out there that have practiced snakes over and over again. These suction cups will be kind of where the snake tummy would be, but making them flat, I see all the time, you know, the classic tentacle with just like very flat suction cups inside. Don't forget to kind of give them a little bounce, like each little cup is searching for something. So if these are your flat, you know, little suction cups and they just stagger up and down the tentacle, you know, it's octopuses don't really kind of flap-a-doo, they kind of reach out. So I kind of turn the suction cups a little bit. So even they'll be turning at different ways and grabbing for something or reaching for something. It's very quiet, it's very dancer-like, and it's very, everything's reaching and grabbing in this little, like every little form. And so I can change them, I can have fun with them, they could be facing different ways, and that gives it also more character and more depth as well, because then you can do fun little curves. They're not even perfect little suction cups. Sometimes they're just real like oblonged and distorted.
So one thing that would help is it feels like whenever you're in front of the light, you can actually see what's on your canvas there, but whenever you move out of the light, it blasts it, like so this, it's real bright.
Like this? Then we can change that. How about that?
Yeah, if it's not blasting right there, then...
How about that? How about that?
That looks a little better. We'll see when you start to...
How about if I do like that?
Yeah, there you go. That looks much better.
Like that? Okay.
We can see.
Cool. Yay! Oh yeah, just let me know. If you guys can't see, just let me know. You know, I can't. It looks
Barry, I've got some chat room stuff here. Barry Scott says, "Hi Renee, cool. Thanks for the great advice and insights already.
Awesome.
Oh, they're so cool and interesting."
Awesome. Yeah, if anybody wants some extra tips specifically or has any specific questions, feel free to ask. I'm always down to, pinpoint and target, anyone's concerns or they're having problems in their own painting. That's what I'm here for. Why not? All right. Yeah, Gabe, just make sure I look good.
Oh, there's a typo. Hold on here.
All right. So there we go. As you can see, we got this really thick base up here, and then it's winding down. And this is just one tentacle, but each tentacle will matter. Okay. So that's one. We got that real loosey-goosey, and then it starts tightening up even more and more and more and more. It's kind of like, the golden ratio in every single arm on the octopus. You're good. You're golden. This one, so I'm going to do that I'm going to follow the same, and I'm going to think about how this bad boy's sitting. What is he doing? I kind of want him just kind of like embracing the moment.
So Rex Style is asking how to draw a biomech design. And I guess I'll just put out there, go to the Reinventing the Tattoo app and definitely check out in one of the art jams, there's a bio art jam that is pretty sick. But obviously, octopuses are pretty bio too, like a lot of the patterns and textures and lighting.
How I do bio is, I kind of had to teach myself how to do it, so I'm not sure if I do it right. I learned how to tattoo in Florida with a bunch of new school kids. So how I taught myself to do bio, it's basically like real, like premature, like real simple one is like, if I want to make something look like it's curling and winding backwards, I'm just having fun with perspective. So you can do these little exercises. And again, I use this spiral trick. It's kind of like a lasso tool in a computer. You just start off and then kind of zoom down, like a little cone. Let's play with a cone. So I know that I have these points here now, like these hard lines created by the thickness and the thinness of that cone. So that's giving a perspective already. But then after that, if I want to create more texture, I know exactly kind of where to put my parallel lines, and then I can make the texture look like it's sinking in by following that little line that I've already made, and then do opposing lines. And then I can make it look a little boop, like I can make it kind of folding up again. And then, for like cutting off the perspective is always a fun thing. That's always a fun one. So then I can kind of get rid of that second line and make it go like through it and past it. So I can come back there. Mini shade here. I'm probably not the best teacher of bio, basically. I just do it. Just makes sense. There's a lot of bio and texture, and that's kind of what I will get to when I bring out the paints. I kind of go over how I put in a lot of my shadows as I'm doing the underpainting. So I can really get those very bio textures. But biomechanical, I mean, you can just, have all that bio awesomeness and textures, and then put in some really cool chromed out shiny metal pieces. And, or you can go straight sci-fi and put in some wires and or you can go more steampunk and put in gears and some rust, yeah, I feel like bio is kind of like metal. There's so many different, sub categories of it, Tanner, do you do much bio?
Not really.
Yeah, like I never really, there's not that many people that do it, like around here even, but yeah, it's super fun. So yeah, let's get in. I think I'm almost done with this drawing. Let's get into some shadows and get in some paints. Yeah, because all of this will be dark, and then all that will be dark. Okay, I think I'm good. I got this. Let's start with this guy. How I do my underpaintings are a little weird. I like to go in and kind of pencil things in loosely, and then I'll go in with a pastel charcoal and go in where I want my blackest darks. So it's still kind of sketchy. It's still kind of rough because I am finding that texture, and sometimes it takes me a real hard second to develop it just with tonight I'm going to use acrylic because it's fast drying, so I can move quick. But the pastel charcoal, it acts as a chalk, of course, and then it also acts as a wet medium. You can water it down and get in a lot of textures because, it's very much like tattooing. Once you get down your black, you basically know, like, you're pretty much halfway done with the tattoo, I know I'll do most of my full color stuff. I will like go in for hours and hours and hours with the black work and just get that perfect before I even look at color. Let's see. And then, so I'm gonna get just an acrylic textured brush or acrylic bristled brush. You don't want to use any animal hair with your acrylic or anything too fine. Use something with some durability in it because I'm going to push this stuff around pretty bad. So I get it real wet, and then you can literally work in this pastel charcoal. And if you don't have this, you can use just a watered down black acrylic, or just like a vine charcoal, and then you can struggle with it a little bit to get it real dark. I'll block everything out real fast. And I think it just comes from painting really quickly and producing like a lot of work really fast. This stuff just works so quickly with textures and everything.
Barry Scott says, appreciate it loads, you're killing it. And
thanks, Barry Scott.
Rextile Dancer says, thank you for your great advice about how to draw the bio.
Yeah, stay tuned. You'll be seeing a little bit more of it because I do want to get down like octopus textures, like how do they actually function? Because their body is crazy. So yeah, no problem. I actually have a bio painting that I'm trying to sketch out right now that I'm pretty sure if I can get it down, I'll be good, I'm like, this is it. This is the painting. But it's by far one of my hardest paintings I've ever tackled. Bio can be really detailed and systematic, and yes, I think that's why I like it. It's such a good challenge.
Did also want to mention in the inside of the app, there's the art lab link where you'll find a lot of exercises and a lot of like kind of experimentally kind of things, and you'll also find the collab lab where there's a group and a Dropbox for finding collabs, and it's not just for bio, but there are a lot of bio people in there, and they're finding partners and doing collaborations with each other, and it's pretty fun to watch them, pick stuff up, and people are learning, and it's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's the one that I missed. That I was I really wanted to do that.
We'll be doing it again, but like I said, a lot of people are just kind of doing it. They're just hopping in, they're passing stuff off to people because, and then we'll do it again live again, probably in a couple of weeks, I imagine.
Yeah. No, see, I think it's great that I can just kind of pick it up and work on it when I can. Because that's life right now, I think. Yeah.
As you're saying, it's we're not into the clear yet. It's
I
just pushed up my wife's. My wife was going to get vaccinated next month as a teacher, but they had to push it all up a bit just due to disorganization and.
Right. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we don't know when we're going to get vaccinated here because they're still dealing with, medical or helping on the medical and teachers.
Wow.
But, we're all still working, and it's very scary. I'm glad I work here and not Home Depot. I'll say that. I mean, no matter what, I'm glad I don't work at Home Depot, but
Right.
I'm glad that I'm not. Yeah, like I feel really, really unfortunate for, say, the ladies who work at the Dollar General, or uh, shoot, the nail techs, who
Sure.
are getting so many people a day, and they're nowhere on that list, and they're the ones that are working their butts off still. Um, so, I'm just glad that we are here. We're in a closed environment. Like it's a whole new routine that have not, physically, I think, gotten used to. I think I'm just more exhausted than anything, but I mean, it's way better than what it could be for sure. So I am thankful for that. I think I've handed out so many gloves to like the girls at Michael's because they were like, just struggling with their PPE. And I always carry extra in my car. So I just like hand them off to people. I'm like, hey, what you're using is actually not working. Let me give you this, and they really appreciate it because their bosses aren't giving it to them. They don't have the money.
Right. Oof.
Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Oy vey. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm liking this guy. Everyone else is probably like, what is she doing? And I'm like, don't worry, you'll see it. This is what happens. So I think I'm like more of a relief painter. Like I really love just like building out of things. Like I like getting like a whole board really black and then building up from that, but like leaving little spaces here and there. Let's see. And that's why I think I am a little intimidated about collabing, but if I can work on it at my own pace, then it's okay. When I'm next to someone, I kind of like, oh God, I'm sorry I paint this way. So I did an art fusion at Hell City, which I cannot wait for. I really, really am so excited about. Just, I don't know, a convention that will happen when it's safe.
Yep, 2022. Absolutely, very excited to.
So excited.
Also have the time to be able to properly plan for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, we all better be on our A game because we've had all this time to prepare.
Yep.
I'm designing a body, like a full back for some guy who wants it done like the whole weekend.
Awesome.
And so I've got plenty of time, to do that. Well, that's for Arizona one. For Columbus, it'll be my first year, and I'm like, I don't know anyone in Columbus, Ohio, but I'll make it happen.
Oh yeah, Columbus is. Well, I'll be there. There's a ton of. You'll know a lot of people there. Frank goes there a fair amount.
Yeah.
It's It's a fun. It's a great show. I've been going there since. I think I missed the first year, and then maybe a handful of years in between then and now. But that's great. Durba is meticulous. He's got every detail covered.
Oh, it's great. It's wonderful. Yeah, no, I really respect that man a lot and what he does. I respect most people that are able to put on a convention, but then also like he does put on one that's just very, yeah, you're right, very meticulous. He's a creature of my own soul.
Yeah. Very few people will. Just be able to see the details that he can. Never mind go through the effort and energy, and invest the time and money and all of that. It's that's great. It's great.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He's yeah. I respect that a lot. And then I mean, same thing. Like him and I both have had like plenty of times to work on our studios during the shutdown, and even during now, like all this time that we're not doing conventions. And I'm just constantly like giving him a praise, like his shop is looking great. He's really like bringing together a lot of artists in a lot of different ways. And also just like really coming at the tattoo industry part of it really, really well. And, you just got to respect all those things with the eco-friendly and everything. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. It's
like my entire shop is eco-friendly, so that's
awesome.
really, yeah. If it were for Derb, I wouldn't have like, I mean, I would have found a way. I did MacGyver some ink bottles one day, or some bottle bags, because I couldn't, I think they were just low in their shortage or in their stock. But yeah, we have like clipcord sleeves and bottle bags and ink caps and all that good stuff.
It's great. When we had a shop, it was once a month. We would try to find one thing to switch over. After a year, it became like every other month.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth doing for sure. No, any day of the week, every day of the week.
Every day of the week. Oh yeah, and now, I mean, now it's time to just tighten up the business too. I've been really kind of going through, and yeah, once a week I've been trying to see like what do we not need, you know? Because I know I'm an over preparer, and I think I definitely just got everything that we could possibly need in the first year. But I mean, it's been cool because then I know I've had everything really nice and accessible. Oh, I did actually just get that giant printer that Andre uses.
Oh, no shit. Awesome.
Yeah, and he was super helpful. I hit him up, asked him about paper, and
cool.
yeah, he hit me back up, and it's gonna save me, because I mean, yeah, it's gonna save me hours and hours. I finally, I finally made the decision after it took me 2 hours to put together a stencil for a back end, because it was so complicated, and we just had to keep resizing and addressing all. And I was like, this is so stupid. What am I doing?
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. And I looked at my coworker here, Gas, and he was like, just do it, mama. And I was like, I'm doing it. We're all going to use it. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. And just even not for backs, but, oh man, it should be here. It should be here within the next 2 weeks. They had to like special order it. And
definitely record that shit and put it up on the Reinventing app.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
I totally want to do. Oh, go ahead.
You might either push your camera up a little, or we're seeing a little bit of your palette, not the top. Yeah, there you go. A little bit down. There we
go.
Almost a little down. There you go. Perfect. Keep it right there if you can.
Yeah, I'm tightening it. It might just be drooping. Okay.
Perfect.
Cool.
That looks cool.
Thanks.
Tanner's looks cool too. It's fun to catch up with all these paintings and shit.
Yeah, right? But no, I'll be sure to do that. I wanted to just kind of like, it's cool to spread the word, like, hey, look what you can do. No more suffering through making, just little boxes and piecing them all together and hoping that they're the right size before their client gets there, and just print it out.
Well,
it's so easy. Okay. I think I am just sinking a little bit. I'll just keep doing it. Okay.
I'm using a color picker where I can't actually paste the hexadecimal fucking code for it. I've got 4 different tabs of different ways. I've got sliders, I've got Apple standard colors, I've got the full spectrum of colors.
What is it you're trying to do?
I'm trying to just paste in like the hexadecimal color from from like Photoshop. I picked it off, and Trying to put it in a PowerPoint. It's because it's Microsoft.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, we've got Jake is saying, oh, this is Barry on the YouTube. So grateful for all this lockdown time we have here in the UK. Can I ask, Renee, please, what black are you using there? Is it acrylic?
Oh, you see this little guy, this little nugget? It is a pastel charcoal, and it comes in a huge pack, like a couple long bricks of it. And it's basically like pastel mixed with a really, really fine charcoal, like the blackest of the black. And they have different variants, so keep an eye on that. But once you touch this stuff, you'll realize why I love it so much. And it feels like what black should feel like, if that makes any sense. It's very silky and it's very smooth, and you can just like dance on your board, and it just rubs on, and you can just keep rubbing into things. Yeah, so try that. It's great. And I've been using it since art school, which was a really long time ago. So I can vouch for it. For years, I always felt guilty. And now most of my, professors are, moved on to greater worlds. So I can say this. But I mean, in art school, like there's this thing, like you just end up with so much art supplies when you graduate for some reason. We all did. We're like, how did I end up with this entire packet of, watercolor that I found at the back of my locker or something. And I had like a pack of pastel charcoal for years that I had so much of it, and I just kept going through it and through it and through it that it was like never ending pack. And just recently, like I would say in the last like 5 years I had to buy a whole new pack of it. But it lasts forever. Like you'll just keep using it and using it and using it. Like I think I've had this one for over the last year, and then it's condensed. Okay. So right now I did kind of go crazy, and I'm changing my angle right now because I want him to be a little bit more coy. So I'm going to move his eye over a little bit, and that's what I'm doing. And I'll be done with that in a second. And then we can get on with some textures. Tanner, what are you using there? Is that acrylic or is that oil? I can't remember.
It's acrylic.
Oh, nice. It's super bright. It is kind of funny right now. Me and Tanner are completely next to each other in different rooms. Usually our art nights, like, at least we can say hi to each other, like across the building, like, hey. But just for you guys tonight, we're like, all right, we'll just go in separate rooms.
Well, thank you for getting the headphones in the separate rooms. The one of the last art jams, there was
hissing,
a couple people that didn't get it, and the echo was pretty rough. But
yeah, it was pretty rough. I know, and I try to control, but I wish I had 3 phones for this event. To be honest, I think that's what I might do. It's just so I can still like talk to people or text them while I'm like filming with you guys.
Okay, so let's see. So they say, "Oh, wicked! Thanks. I've been using charcoal. I'll have to try these. They sound pretty awesome."
Oh yes, very awesome. You won't have so much dust, and it's just super black. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm getting my shape of my octopus. I like him. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see. Yeah, in my art nights, I do every first and last Monday. So I'm still getting people used to the zooming in too. Like most people don't have arms set up, most people don't have the microphones, and it's been kind of hard to describe to people what that is too, I realized. And yeah, and then with everything going on with COVID, it's just, man, I'm glad that we can still come together. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it's always pretty amazing doing things that are either brand new or cutting edge. Because
Yeah, yeah.
inevitably people are like, wait a minute, I can't quite figure that out. I've never
Figure
seen it
it, yeah,
before. I'm like, well, we haven't seen it before either. We're-
but we're doing it. That's like story of my life, Gabe.
oh yeah, well,
it's I'll let everyone know right now, like being an artist, a business owner, doing anything like that is the loneliest thing in the world. It's because
yeah.
you got to just do it. You just got to trust in yourself and do it when people are saying,
It is.
why are you doing that? You're like, because it will work in theory. Yes. I think that's my entire build out of this building. It's like an old historic Oklahoma building, and now it's like an Art Deco, really cool
Nice.
creation space, but everyone doubted because it hadn't been done before. But, whatever, here it is.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. So already now what I have is I kind of did like a really cool like very washy, very blurry version. And so what we're going to do is really tighten it up as we come out with our textures. So you can see that this is going to be like the backdrop. It's going to be pushed back and really kind of fuzzy because I'm going to put a lot of watercolor through that to make sure it looks like we're really going to focus in on something. I really have a couple different techniques of making a composition really flow really well. And I kind of naturally do it now. So I'll just show you real quick with my brush. But Tony Moore taught me this, and he does comic books, and you can kind of see this size of canvas is very much like a front of a comic book. So it's a real simple grid of just 2 lines and then 2 lines. That's the most simple way you can do about it or go about it. And so you can see like our main focal point adds up right here and right here. See that little boop, boop, the little twist. And then the same side, boop, boop, kind of matches up with this little tentacle over here. And then down here, I'm actually going to hyper focus right here because this is the front of the tentacle. And then this is going to be pushed back. So same thing, it's kind of a boop, boop right there. And so that creates a nice simple flow throughout the painting. Now these grids do get more complicated, and you can look them up online too and say like grids for composition grids. Yeah, and they just really help, if you're going to spend that much time on a painting, you want to make sure that you're getting it across the right way. And sometimes we need tools. I always, have a problem with like tangent lines and like just merging things together, that kind of helps also avoid that. So I'm a sucker for, using a color wheel and using grids and just using anything that I could possibly make the best painting as fast as I can. Because I have I think I have 1,000 unfinished projects right now, and that's okay. I'll get them done eventually. So I'm gonna start building up what's in front of me and what's, oh yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got my headphones working.
Oh, good. You just need to
Perfect.
charge them?
No. I found a way to hook them up properly. My phone was about to die anyways.
Yeah, right. I know mine was like non-existent when we first started. And Gabe, that's what I was bitching about, is that all my phone chargers just decided not to work.
Yeah,
Mm,
computers are.
They're the devil. They make us angry.
Their goal
You
is to
know?
make us quit.
Yes. Yes, that is true. Yes, human. You aren't smarter than us.
Just quit. Your life will be easier. You know it.
Yeah.
You know it in
You
your
know
heart.
it. Yeah, just give up. Just give up. Sin. Give up. Become complacent with your life.
Fucking computers.
Fucking computers. Yeah, did you ever see that? There's a Portlandia episode where he's like in between a laptop, an iPad, and his phone, and they call it like the technical hole. I think that's me like every Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. And you just can't get
I
out of it.
hate when I got the iPad. It was like, fuck. I think I've got like all the devices, like one of every size. But they're all useful. I use all the different sizes. But I got like I got the watch. I got the phone. I got the mini
Oh
iPad. I
man, you
got
got
the
the
iPad
watch.
Pro. Got the portable. I got the fucking desktop. I barely know how to use them. I should take like an Apple course or something. And I'm not like a religious Apple person,
But they're so brightly colored that I need them.
well,
And their
the
stores
different
are so.
size, different sizes and interfaces.
Oh, right. Yeah, basically. I wish we just had one, and that would be good. I think also I just got a Mac for the shop, and I'm realizing that the apps that we have on our iPads and our iPhones are nothing like what you can get for an actual Apple computer.
Nope.
And I
Yeah,
think
no,
that I think that's bogus. Yeah, that's absolutely bogus. So it's like trying to get our counter person to be able to use or post on Instagram for us while we're working. It's like sometimes it kicks her out because it's her phone. And so she has to come by. She's like, it kicked me out again. Can I just use your phone? I'm like, yes. Why do we have all this technology? I have to keep grabbing my phone. No, I've never been okay with the phones. Like mine is honestly, it's ready to go out the door. I dropped it in the toilet once or twice, and it's ready. But I just refuse. I hate buying new technology. I just think of like the waste of
yeah.
the batteries and oh my God. Yeah, I just hate thinking about it. I want a flip phone. Okay. So I always kind of like, think about how to describe kind of lifting up your painting and finding textures as you do it. Kind of like contouring. You kind of have to like, oh, someone's at my door. Hold on. Not really sure who that is. Hello. Can you guys give me 1 second? Someone is definitely at our shop door. I'm gonna go check who that is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. Hey there, I'm gonna have to text one of my employees real quick. Let's see.
Surprise guests. That happens sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Oh, let me go get their name.
I think that a little bit better. Looks like she'll be back in just a second.
Yeah, cool, no problems. How long have you been working at the shop there?
Here with Renee only for about 3 weeks. I'm in my third week
Oh,
right
okay,
now.
awesome, brand new. Woo! You've been in the area there long, or?
I mean, I first started tattooing in Midwest City, and then tattooed in Norman, and I went about an hour and a half south to Ardmore, and I was there for about 2 years, and
Cool.
then started working here. I know a lot of people in the city, and yeah,
Cool.
just up in this area.
It's fun to be in a shop that encourages doing art.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's something that I haven't really run into, like since like I don't know, for my entire career basically. The only time I was
well,
ever really encouraged to do art was during my apprenticeship,
huh,
and it was more of like a you're required to, but it didn't really take much pushing. I just did it anyways.
sure. Yeah, no, it's definitely always well worth practicing. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing sometimes how many shops don't necessarily encourage it, but yeah, it's always it's practice should be required. I mean, it shouldn't
Oh
be required. People should just kind of like inherently want to, right? Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I definitely understand that. Sometimes life gets in the way of all that, and
Of
people have
course.
families and stuff. But
Family would be one of the main. That family, okay, that's understandable. Yeah. Other things, yeah, depends on. I mean, again, it all just really depends on what your motivation is, which one to get.
oh, for
Get
sure, for
at it.
sure.
I'm working in PowerPoint, and I kind of know it, but I don't really know it. So I'm like just clicking buttons left and right, trying to get shit to do what I want it to. Like that's clearly not the way to
Huh?
do it.
Will you let Renee back on? I think she might have gotten kicked off.
Oh yes. Oh, we're looking at your camera's like right at your back there. I don't know if you could get another angle or. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Hey, Renee, you're back. If you could
Yay!
get your
I'm back.
camera needs to be sideways,
It is.
or you need to wiggle it around a little bit so the camera goes sideways. Because right now we're just looking at your painting sideways, but not the
Oh,
camera's not doing
that's
the right
weird.
thing.
That is weird.
Sometimes you just gotta wiggle around a little bit.
I don't know. Sorry about that, everybody. Hashtag
There we go.
boss
Perfect.
life. There we go. Yeah, I wiggled it. It was the wiggle. Yeah, that was a boss life thing. They didn't have an appointment, but they thought they did.
Yeah,
They
well.
did not. Yep. And I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of you. What is going on?
Nope.
Yeah, dope.
Here to get some tatties.
You're ready to get some tats.
Time to get some sick tats.
Hey, I am a CEO of Sick Tats.
Haha, nice.
Thank you. Thank you. I got the letter today with the official LLC.
Ah,
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. I'm going to get us a little plaque. Do you see this plaque? It says I'm the CEO of Sick Tats. I think COVID, I just kept making companies.
You're not the. I know a couple people. Not like a
Yeah.
shit ton, but a couple.
Yeah.
It's,
It was time. It's been really nice to develop things that I've been wanting to develop.
yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Some of them were out of necessity, but I guess that's how business happens sometimes.
That is pretty much the way that rolls. You just solve problems for yourself, and then other people often will need the same solutions. Certified Sick Tat Gang.
Sick Tat Gang. Oh, it's spelled with a Z, like in everything. I'm gonna make some cool butt patches. Just say Sick Tats, and it's SIK.
Let's see. Okay, so Barry Scott says, I think it's wild how common it is not to be doing art within tattooing. I do it with or without others, but it's such a good drive to be around like-minded artists and to have access to things like this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Let's see. Drunken Yoda has some cheers, thumbs ups. Andrew says hi.
Hello. Hello.
Connor Foley said hi a while back.
Hello.
Fernando likes the posts from Needle Jump.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Fernando.
Oh, and the Oliver guy. I wonder if he's going to pop in.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Oliver, pop in. He always has cool stuff going on.
He absolutely does, yeah. He's been doing cool. They do a bunch of a lot of Germans get together and do an art day. They have like 9 people or something. They're all in lockdown. But oh, we lost your video.
I know. I'm sorry. Someone called me.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how to stop that.
Painting time, says Andrew. Andrew, are you painting? If you're painting, you can zoom in. Head on over to the Reinventing the Tattoo app. Or the community.reinventingthetattoo.com, and the first event there will have the link.
Yeah, come and join us.
Drunken Yoda's always in the chat rooms.
Oh yeah, are you guys hosting a drink and draw? Is that a thing?
We will be hosting one again. Yes. You will. Yeah. You're on the list. You're one of the main motivators to make it happen again. The last one was 9 hours. So
I can do it.
It was. So could we. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. But it got in the. Actually, I was just checking out Tattoo Society. There's he put a little article or a little blurb in about it. So, yeah, we definitely have to do another one. They're very fun. Yeah, it was the holiday edition, so some people have a New Year's Eve that lasts a day or 2 or 3. We had a holiday drunk critique that the hangover lasted fucking 2.5 months.
Oh God. Well, I just feel that I sound like such a boozer that I'm like, do it,
Oh
but,
no, it's so much fun. It's we usually do it once a month.
So much fun. There's so much fun.
Well, I was thinking about trying to do a contest. So the other thing I guess that happened was I wanted to do a drunk tattoo contest, and people are down because we've done the drunk critiques a lot. We have the format down, and it is always fun. But we got to kick it up a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe we just pick a date a couple weeks out and just do it.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to dive in there. Get a 6-pack of White Claws and go for it. Or 9 hours, 12-pack.
Well, I was gonna say, and therein lies all of a sudden we're like, and then breaking out with the shots, and it is a lot of fun drinking with people from all around the world.
Oh yeah, I mean,
the other problem is What's that?
Oh, I was gonna say we have a whole bottle of vodka in the freezer. We could do this. But
go on the vodka.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Just come on, Tanner, go get the vodka.
I'm okay on the vodka.
Same.
I'm gonna sit out on the vodka. I had a lot of that whenever I was younger.
I think it's actually a guest artist that left it here because he was like, I want a drink after I'm done tattooing. And I'm like, whatever. And afterwards I was like, oh, cool. We got a whole bottle of vodka after that guest spot. Hell yeah. But no, I mean, to be able, to drink with people that normally, like around the world, you don't get to meet them any other way, and you get to open up and just kind of be silly, and it breaks barriers, There's the Star of Texas Tattoo Convention that I like doing in Austin, and Mercy puts that on. Yeah. The table at the hotel, like after the show, is actually where the real magic happens. there's like a whole crowd that goes drinking, and then there's a whole crowd that like meets me and like a huge group of people, and we all just draw and art and get wasted.
Nice.
And they've, well, I mean, as wasted as we can as 30 and up year olds.
Right.
And like several times they stayed open late. Sometimes we'll just, we'll just bring our own stuff down from our rooms. And it's just like, it's so much fun because you just get to see everybody and be silly and, and there's some, you don't have to drink, but I mean, just the fact that we can all just be stupid around each other and just relax is so nice.
Yeah, I'll get down to that show. I always hear great things about it. And Austin, Texas is obviously a pretty cool spot that's worth hitting up once every other year.
Mm-hmm. Marcy's a truist, and I give her a lot of respect. Like, she is one of my heroes, and I tell her all the time, like, you're walking around with this leather jacket and you're just so cool, like, you're definitely one of my heroes. But she doesn't believe in having Wi-Fi at her show or a printer that prints from iPads, or she's very much no, this is a traditional tattoo convention. If you don't have pre-made flash, then you will have a hard time. And like, when she told me this, I think she expected me to get really angry. But as soon as she said it, I was like, oh, okay. And then started taking my outer box off of my iPad and put my iPad down on the printer and printed from that.
Right. Yep.
And she just,
okay.
Yeah. And she just cracked up laughing. I was like, no, I know this. It's fine. Leave me alone. It's good. I got this. And yeah, she's had me back every year since, and it's been great.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I'm definitely not that tattooer. I don't have a whole lot of pre-made flash. Like, I can, have you sit down, I can draw on you, but my flash is very rare. It's usually like, I drew this and I think it's adorable. But usually I'm there to, work on big pieces. But no, it's a great show. Good people. It's a really good time. Like, I just really like the people that attend. Like, really good ethics, and I really like it. It's a good show. And Austin's really fun too. Let's see. Okay, so right now, let's see, this Mr. Octopus he's getting I'm getting in some pre-textures here. You can see some of these, like, I already go in with a lot of my shadows that I want to do, and kind of how bright I want to keep it, but then I start putting in, like, almost like their little weird little spikes that they have, like little bubblets and little bubbles and little, they do kind of look like little spikes around their eyes, like horns almost, like the horned octopus. But they're just their flesh, and that's where they're distributing their weird muscle tissue and their weird gelatinous goo that's inside of them. It's the best way to describe it. It's like a very strong, malleable flesh that can just be sucked in and out of different pockets within their body. That's why they're so tough. They're just all muscle. But I really want this to be a moody piece, so I'm really going to fade out this back portion and just kind of hide it with a lot of shadow so I can get this section really clear. Man, and I miss the Villain Art shows too. I know that they're doing some coming up, but I still wonder if they'll, what they'll do, if they'll keep it going or they'll shut it down beforehand. I guess he's done his research. That's a lot of money to invest with just, plain chances, but.
We're tentatively thinking about doing something very small in October.
Yeah.
But very small, like this year, like a couple friends, maybe even just like bring your own booze kind of fucking tattoo picnic, like show up and everyone stay back.
Yeah.
But
keep your distance.
Jimmy Peak is definitely very outdoorsy, so like we can do something there pretty small outdoors. And then maybe then next year we're gonna go full on I think two tattoo conventions next year. Real convention out in Chicago area with Guy, and then do the tattoo gathering at Jiminy Peak again. Kind of. That's always a small
Oh,
show.
good. That would be so cool to do another gathering. I would love to do something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, 2022 will be full on, and then like I said, this year we'll try to figure out what we could actually do because right now
yeah.
there's still fucking 3,000 people a day dying. But October is
Yeah.
9 months away.
Right. Yeah, I just had to cancel something. I didn't even realize. I did realize I was on the docket, but I didn't realize that I was still on the docket. You know what I mean? And that was there's a Missouri show going on. I think in May, and I just had to say no. You know, I just more of. I hate saying no to my friends and like being a disappointment, but in the same regard, like I can't even. Like, I think that's a huge step to say something that you believe in without saying anything by gathering right now for me. And I was like, no, I have to quarantine for 2 weeks afterwards if I were to do something like that. And I can't afford that with my business.
Nah.
So I mean, personally, I'm just like cruising until 2022. I'm not going to do shit. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I'm a fragile being. If I get sick, I'll die.
Yeah, don't do that.
I know, right? I can't do that.
You have the Brussels show in November is presuming I can get vaccinated by July, August, September-ish. Got Brussels in November, like mid-November. That is
Okay, nice.
10 or 11 months away.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
No, I'm
mostly
we'll
it's all
see.
a matter of who the
I
fuck
think if
knows?
who the fuck knows? I'm trying to make some tentative plans that if I get vaccinated and Europe is good and Germany is good, I really want to go to Prague because I've always wanted to go. I want to paint. I want to be a weirdo and just alone Prague. And then go to all the romantic sites and paint them and, be the little painter that I always wanted to be. And then meet my buddy in Romania and finish off the trip there. Yeah. See my family land, and end the trip that way. Like, okay, cool. I've done my bucket list. I'm done. Let's do it.
Well, if you do want to catch up with tattooers in Romania, let me know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have my weird family that probably don't like me because I have tattoos.
Kostya was over in Bucharest for a tattoo convention not too long ago.
I heard that they were taking actually one of Vlad the Impaler's castles and making it into a tattoo convention.
Oh, he came wicked close.
You went?
No, I was going to co-produce that show with Kosti.
What?
And,
What happened?
It got pretty. Well, it was his show. I mean, it was his show. I was helping him, so I wasn't. And it was coming up pretty quick, and he kind of rolled that energy into his regular convention. I texted him again though. I was like, man, we should just do it. 2022.
Yeah,
it was a full.
just
I mean,
do
it's
it.
also very far away. It's like 5 hours away from any airport. Really,
I'll do it.
4 hours. A lot of people, I think, would do it. I mean, and
We'll take a horse and
now
buggy.
the events have to be small.
Right.
But at the least the Bucharest shows is well worth hitting up, and then shoot Kosti, find Kosti. Anybody that wants to go to or beam into a Romanian castle, Kosti, he's on the Facebooks. I think he might be on the app too, but let him know you want to do it. It was a Transylvanian. It was Transylvanian. I forgot the exact name of it, but.
Yeah, no, I can't remember.
Hernandez did the poster. Robert Hernandez. We got a whole poster. We're ready to go on it. All we got to do is, really, what we got to do is get like 30 or 40 people to, guarantee that we can get enough momentum to do a convention in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Romania is really in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I'll do it. Well, my grandfather's from Wallachia, and so of course, you know, Nazis and things happen and we had to leave and, you know, they took my great uncle and it's one of those things like my grandfather never wanted to come back, but yet he always like, I really wish you girls could see what could have been yours. And I'm like, God damn it, that's brutal. But okay. Right. Yeah, sure. So now that he's parted, you know, my sister's on board, my cousins are on board, like everyone's on board to go. And I just really want to, yeah, I would like to go for that and take some of him down there if I can. So yeah, convention, that would just be like, I don't know how to travel and not work anyway, so that'd be perfect.
Oh, well, there you go. It's
yeah.
November, maybe? October, November.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, I'll even hit him up and be like, hey, let's do this. You don't know me. Let's do this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He comes into some of these painting things, Cos. Tell me you know me. He Hernandez. I met Hernandez at the show. I mean, I think I met him before, but I got to catch up with Hernandez a little bit there. See his work in person.
So cool.
Was it a Bullet BG? Do you know Bullet? He was there, Bullet BG.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know screen names. I'm really bad with that. Yeah, no, there's so many potentials of cool things to happen once, if we ever get to, you know, get back to a gathering with safety type practice. I think like there'll be those who like still want to stay shut in and those who will be like just absolutely ecstatic to get outside. And
yeah,
I mean, I'm like, I've always been a shut in, but I'm kind of like, it gives me a little bit more confidence knowing that everyone now is having a little bit of issues getting back to norm. And so I'm not the only weirdo. Like, kind of makes me feel a little bit more comfortable going outside. But right now, oh my gosh, we had a bum today. Like, I was talking with my neighbor. We have a Thai restaurant next door to us. And we were just sitting there chatting. And this crazed homeless man just like took his mask off and screamed at us like, fuck you. And we're like, this is what we deal with. This is why people are still dying. Okay. Right. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, we get it. Fuck us. Okay, sure. But like, what? Why?
Facebook, the streams actually stopped. There's a block or not a block, but for some reason Facebook, the streams aren't going out like they used to. But I don't, you know, there's a fair amount of traffic from them and people are watching and they interact. But like inevitably I just get sucked down into the algorithm, you know, rabbit holes. And I'm just like, man, it knows exactly who to put in front of me. It's the people that are like arguing against solutions and then complaining that it's dragging on forever. And it's like, wait, you're literally making this last longer while talking about revolting so that it doesn't have to last as long. Like you just, what are we gonna do?
What do we do? Well, I mean, you know, I always say I practice the education of spirituality in college a lot because I took so many religious courses. So I'm not very much a believer in most things, but also I am very well versed. And I love saying like, oh, the meek will inherit the earth and the people will kill us. And I think, that's why I can't even look at Facebook right now. It's like, I know it's there. I know what the conversations are being had, but it's just so ever ongoing, this argument back and forth. Like there's the people that don't like being told what to do at all. And then there's the people that feel like they have an injustice that needs to be carried out. Revenge must be had. And then you have people that are like, what is happening? Can't we just get along? And yeah, no, that's the divide that this has made. And I think that's what happens when you don't have one person saying something. When a decision is wishy-washy it'll make anybody revolt, you know, like you can, one person, a scientist can say, you know, masks totally help this from not being transmitted. Like it is a preventative. It doesn't work 100%, but it's a preventative. And then you have one person that say masks don't work 100%, which is a true statement, but it's the way that it's said
Oh
makes
yeah,
it sound.
well, with different
Yeah,
intentions, you know, and
exactly.
it's yeah, it's out of control. But we'll see.
But
You know, one of my favorite things about the reinventing app is that you can only post up in specific groups, so you always
yes,
kind of have to stay on topic.
yes,
And there's no politics or food topics. Although we might
yes.
make a food topic. We'll
All those
definitely make
still
it
lifes, you know.
for the still lifes and for travel, or mostly for travel. Probably have like a travel, you know,
Oh, that would be
good
smart.
spots to land at, kind of a thing.
Hmm. Yeah, for the still lifes. I mean, I always get hungry when I'm doing my still lifes.
We
Yeah.
did a
Yeah.
donut one not too long ago over the summer.
Oh, very
Christina
cool.
Ramos, she works with
Hmm.
Sean Barber.
Oh, nice.
It was a very good looking donut. I wanted to eat it.
I wanted to eat it. That's what it's there for. Very cool. Okay. All right. Can everybody see what I'm doing? We've got,
Here, let me,
let's see. Yeah, very clear here. And then subtly fading in the background. And I'm really kind of building up these textures real lightly. And what I basically do is I think about figure eights. I think about just organic shapes that are very like connecting. So you want to get all these things kind of in place real smushy, because when you put your highlights or you put your things on top of that, you can literally just place them on whatever light source you want to. So this is like just like the first stage of texture is very kind of gesture. And I love doing aquatic stuff because you can kind of make things a little dreamlike, a little fuzzy, a little elusive, because then that's how it looks underwater. Everything's not really too tight until you get like really, really hyper focused on something, because you're always dealing with different light sources and depthness of water when we make either things look really blurry in the background, and then yeah, it's just kind of like everything is hyper focused when it is hyper focused. So I like showing that real defined foreground. And underpaintings, holy moly, what a saving grace. I don't think if anyone's ever done an underpainting before with their paintings, I always suggest it, like try it, because it really is just kind of gets you in the mindset of simplifying things and then working up, than trying to just work everything to the nth degree in every little spot. You know, it kind of lets you get the whole flow of everything. You can get down all your base tones and your colors that you really kind of want to go, like your overall theme. And then sometimes I'll just like do a certain amount of color and say, all right, cool, let it dry. And then I'll come back and I'll be opening new paints because that'll be the second layer. So you're neither having to really like just keep trying to color match when you like leave a painting alone and come back to it. I do try to paint as cylindrically as possible. So I'll do a whole series and I'll paint with like the same color tubes for a couple paintings, and then I'll let them all sit, and then I'll come back and do a whole other layer and all of them at the same time, and then come back and then do a whole other layer at the same time. So right now I have like, I don't know, I think this is the third one of the specific themed octopus or series. And so with that, they'll all kind of look the same, and that's how you make a good series. If they all kind of have the same colors or the same theme, or, you know, it shows a little continuity in making a portfolio, or if you want to do an art show, or if you just want to, if you're people really like continuity. It's like learning the Instagram, or it's like the Instagram algorithms and learning, you know, the formatting. It's kind of the same way when you're building an art portfolio. That's where they got it from originally, is just showing continuity is so important. I personally hate that because I'm everywhere in the art spectrum. I like doing everything, but I learned really quick that people didn't know what I did ever because I did too much. Was it Andy Warhol? Or was it Basquiat that said if you change, people will hate you? I think it was Andy.
I don't know.
I think it was Andy. But it's very true. And just on the side that they can't figure out what it is you do, so they don't know how to ask you to do something for them. You know, it's kind of walking up to one of those Taco Bell Pizza Huts and just asking awkwardly, "Do you have coffee?" You know, what do you have here? So it kind of helps too if anyone's trying to like put on an art show or work on their digital media or wanting to just make a series of paintings. Try just using the same colors. Try using, you know, the same brush even. I'll do that sometimes. I'll just use the same brush for the whole series, even if it's like down to the stub. There's something about it that I'll just keep using it. And it has the same textures everywhere. It has the same look. There's nothing too off. And it just kind of gives every painting the same kind of storyline. I love that. If anyone has any questions too, feel free to ask. Or I can just Bob Ross it and talk about like, oh, and over here we're gonna make a little tentacle. Little devil over here. Oh, it's a little devil over here. You guys ever hear Bob Ross say that? Like he calls things little devil.
Let's see here. Amy Ward says, "Hey, having fun watching your process. Thanks for the good thoughts."
Oh, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the feedback. Teaching is awkward, but you know, it's fun regardless.
Over 100 viewers at this point. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Hey, everybody. What's going on? We're here in Oklahoma.
Probably got like 15 watching now total through the, but
Oh no, that's nice. That's funny. Yeah, Oklahoma had its first really nice day today. And oh, it's beautiful.
Spring is in the air.
Yeah. Thank goodness. It's just good to see some sun.
Oh, I take that back. Spring was in the air like a week ago. It's been fucking like 20 degrees for the last 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. No, it's still been so cold, but last night we had a big rain and today it was just really sunny and beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so I kind of have like my really good first phases of this octopus developing. Okay, let me do a suction cup real quick because that's always fun. Get a little bit more white. So with my suction cups, I kind of like doing the inside first. And what I do is I think about where my light source is now. Like now that I'm building up textures and I've been thinking about my light source and the ways of what's foreground and what's background, like what I'll see first. But, oh, there it is. Now I'm going to start really thinking about more dramatically, like, am I, like, say, if I'm a scuba diver, am I the light source coming up on this beast? And that's usually what I do. I don't think of like it's coming from the sun above because they're super deep. Like maybe octopuses are more or less found in rocks. You know, they're very rarely just seen out and about if they see you anyways. You know, they're very protective little creatures, so they usually hide a lot. So usually my light perspective or my light sources, I show as if I'm coming upon the creature and my light is shining up on it. So I try to think of like how his tentacles are going to face me. And this is what this one is. I'm doing this one as like a reactionary defense tentacle. And usually most of my octopuses have this as like a, hey, like it's showing distance, like, or it's coming up to grab me or it's coming up to feel me. I think I just keep, okay. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm putting my elbow directly in gesso over and over again. I'm like, no, I'm okay. So I think about this, bless me. Say with these top tentacles here, the front ridge will be the brightest, and then there'll be a lot of shadow because it's like a cup. So if my hand is a tentacle, my thumb right now is that first ridge that's in front of me, and then inside you can see that dark shadow line, and then it's a little bit lighter back here because that's where this light is facing. So I'm just going to do that in like a nice cool tone. So I do like a little bluey gray, and I mix everything that I use for my underpainting is mixed with either clear or white gesso. And I do that throughout each little suction cup. Kind of think how that light would hit it.
Question from the chat room. Amy's asking, do you glaze over usually?
Not usually. I like my paintings pretty matte. A lot of people have been trying to get me to epoxy or like do epoxy over, is that right? Epoxy resin, yeah, over the paintings because it looks really shiny and pretty. And same thing with the glazing. It just if I'm doing a lot of layers, like with space, maybe I'll add like a glazing type medium to it so I can get those layers. But usually with acrylic, hands down, I just don't even mess with it. I like it to be real matte and chalky and pastel-y, or like matte. So when I can go in with my oil paint later on, then it has plenty of surface to stick to and cure to and adhere to and suck in, you know. So no, I don't tend to. But when I'm doing oil, then yes, that is a huge way to develop some really beautiful translucent textures. So you can say, like, eventually, if you like say did a flat, white, and then glazed with clear, and then did something on top and glazed, it would look like it would be floating up from the painting. So that's kind of how I think about, like, if I'm doing fruit or anything like that with oil, I want that to look really shiny and in multiple textures and just glowy. Then I'll do like a kind of a nice little glazing technique on that one. But typically for the underpaintings and things like that, I keep it pretty matte. I don't like shiny things. That sounds weird, but I just like it to be what it is. I think because I've done so many like gallery type scenarios, I've always had a problem with like lighting oil paintings, because they are naturally kind of shiny and naturally kind of glistening from the oil, of course. But if you ever try to light it with just like your standard lighting, you got to get really specific, because it will just look like a giant shiny mess if you're not careful hanging that painting. But if it's nice and matte, you just got to make sure it's protected and you keep it clean. It'll look dark and rich forever, Like the deepest black ever is actually quite matte. It's, doesn't have any shine to it. It doesn't have anything. So that's kind of the reason why I don't do that. But nice question. Good question. More questions. I wish after we were done filming, like people could comment on it still, or can they do that? Like keep commenting after we're done?
Yeah, they can, absolutely, because the video the video replay is going to be available, and there's a comment section right there in the article.
Oh, okay. I need to go back and read what people have asked since then, because that'd be cool. I can just write them down and.
Well, you don't see the chat rooms.
Oh, okay.
unfortunately. People can still
Oh,
comment, but yeah, the chat rooms are, well, and again, they're currently in a couple different spots, but it's, yeah, we're still cobbling together other technologies. We're not custom coding stuff ourselves.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just rebuilding a website right now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this takes so much. So
Ugh.
let's see. Okay, now I've got those shadows going, and they're real light. They're super, super light shadows because the tentacles aren't that deep, so you don't want to go too crazy. But then I'm going to do my shadows underneath them as well. And I'm just thinking about how my little light would hit these guys. This and textures, I think, are my favorite part of these crazy creatures. I did actually like see an octopus while snorkeling once, and it scared the shit out of me. And it was in Hawaii, and it was so big that I just remember stopping and looking at it and be like, that thing could take me down. And I just I just stayed far away. But it was so cool to see it just in the wild. It was a big red mama and terrifying. But, maybe that's probably why I'm so obsessed with them. Okay. And then once I got all those in, then I kind of go around and just clean things up and smooth them around. And I'll take a little bit of gesso and a really like kind of wet brush, and I'll just kind of go through and smooth and smooth and smooth. And this is so when I start blending oil on top and I start painting on top of it and really getting really clear and tight with everything, I don't have to worry about like extra textures that I don't want. I do like to do underpaintings in like a pretty full range of colors too. Or at least like with octopuses, there's so many layers of different colors to their body. It's kind of easy. But I've seen people just do underpaintings and like monochromatically. Sometimes a lot of warm tones. So really it's whatever works. You just want to make sure you get your object down as easy as possible because it can only be in your brain for so long. I talked about earlier about this painting that I've been working on that I refuse to show the world until it's done because it's so crazy. It doesn't look like people look at it and go, oh my God. And I go, yep. And then I put it away. Yep. It's going to take me another 5 years. But that image, I knew I wouldn't I just had this thought and I just had to get it down, and I had to get it down quick enough to where I can come back to it. And it's kind of the same thing when you're doing an underpainting. You just want to get it down. So in case the world happens, like if you have kids or if you have like a busy lifestyle, this is how I'm able to paint. Like I own a business, I own several businesses, and I'm seeing that painting is getting less and less the busier that we get in life. But there's no reason why you can't just have a painting up that you visit like maybe once or twice a week and take your time on it, because I think painting is really healthy for the soul.
Have I seen this painting you were just talking about?
Yeah, it's behind the octopus eating the world painting.
I'm gonna have to go take a look at that in a minute.
I'll show you. Yeah, and you'll be like, what the fuck? It's that thing that I also made a 3D version of my painting on the Oculus headset with Nico because I couldn't get down the proportions. And so I made it 3D, and he got to walk through it, which was cool because they have like all kinds of effects on that thing, which I did get one, and it's coming. It's on its way. So everyone's going to get to try it.
That's crazy.
which, oh my gosh, Gabe, have you seen this stuff? Have you seen the Oculus headsets?
Yeah, I'm close to getting it, but I don't have one yet. But yes, I've
Oh,
seen
I
it.
got it.
It seems just 100% full on. You said you were
Full
playing with
on.
them?
The painting app, the 3D painting app is it just amazing.
Yeah.
It's out of this world. I didn't get one because I want to get my dad one, so I got him one because his retirement was supposed to be this last year. So you can like walk through Europe's museums and you can like do all the you can. So I was like, Dad, just retire a little bit, please. Here, take this thing. And then with mine that I'm getting, I can hook like him and I can play games together and see each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he's wanted to do is like, I just want you girls here so we can play games and like eat dinner and like,
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm getting my sister one now because she's, not pulling the plug and just buying it. So I'm gonna buy her one. And then yeah, we can all like play shoot 'em up games together like the old days. And,
Awesome.
kick ass. Yeah. My dad's a huge gamer. But besides that, artistically, the 3D painting app is by far the coolest shit that I have ever experienced in my life.
It looks pretty out of control.
It's out of control. It's amazing. Like you have electricity that you can mold with your hands. I made a giant moving, breathing octopus out of some weird, crazy, black, evil rope light.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
I mean, I made a realm and my friend could walk through it. And that's so cool.
Who's Jordan Ruckus has been the guy that's doing one of the guys that's doing the tattoo collecting podcast. He's been painting and using that.
I had to see what he's been doing because it's so
who
cool.
else is Darwin Enriquez? Do you know Darwin?
Yeah. Well, I don't know him, but I've known of him for sure.
He's doing I know that he was doing a ton of ZBrush, and then he was getting into the Oculus and doing the 3D sculpting and.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a game changer for sure. They have a body form inside the painting app as well. So you can design suit, sleeves, you can design clothes, you can design
awesome.
anything you want. Yeah, it's just bizarre how much technology, like how crazy that technology is, even though it's so brand new. There's so much going on already. Like they really prepared and just dove completely into it. And it makes me really happy. So see you later, world. I'm going to go on this thing.
That is another, it's like, oh man, I could imagine very easily getting just lost in it for forever. Yeah.
Well, they talked about that. The battery life is specifically, I think, only 2 hours for that reason.
Awesome.
Yeah. Because I was getting there. Like it started beeping at me. And then I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Actually, with Frank, I think he watched me for 2 hours kill some dragons with a bow and arrow and you can put it on the TV so your friends can watch you.
Sure.
And I don't know. I had some crazy high ranking, like I just kept going. I was sweating. I was like ducking and running and like killing, but I do archery. So I was like, this is the best thing in the world. There's wind resistance. There's like everything. You have sights that you can change. Like it was so cool. And he just was like, it was great watching you do this. Like,
yeah, I bet. Oh man, that's crazy. Hey, so it is 8:48, which means
that's
it's
time.
Time flies when you're having fun, but
yeah.
we do need to break for the reinventing pretty soon.
Oh yeah, can I just I'll
absolutely
recap real quick.
Yeah, take your time. Give yourself the proper. Let people know how to find you and all. Oh, okay. So we also have some quotes here or some comments. Yeah. Thanks for sharing so much. I find it hard to narrow down and be consistent in tattooing. How long have you been doing this kind of online talk through stuff? It deserves 1,000 times more viewers.
Oh, dude, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm pretty new at the online talks. I hopefully will get to do this more with the reinventing the tattoo and Gabe, because this is really fun and I know I spiritually need it. And please join us forever. But I've been hosting art nights since I've opened up my shop a little under 2 years ago. And I really enjoy it, and it really fulfills me a lot. But yeah, so thank you. You can also find me. Sometimes I'll make live videos also and post them, or time-lapse videos and post them of what I'm doing. And I'm on Instagram. It's Renee Little Tattoos. Or you can find all of us under Goldfang Gallery under Instagram or our website, Goldfang Gallery. But I try to be as active as possible on my Instagram, besides the Facebook, because, the family's on there talking about politics. Yeah, I try to at least give some kind of instruction of what I'm doing, because for years I just assumed I didn't know what I was doing. So, but now it's like, oh no, I can actually help people do this too. So yes, please, more the merrier. And yeah, I do want to show real quick, just to catch up. I did get to a pretty good final underpaint layer. I didn't get to do the eye at all, but you can see like very, very dark layers, and just kind of building up so all the light comes to focus. So where we want to bring our eye, and then putting in his little textures. I literally just put literal blobs of white paint. That's all it starts out as. And then after that, you can just do details and have fun. But textures are literally fun. You just kind of go with the flow, follow some designs, and then boom, you got magic. You have organic textures. And you can take that from anywhere. So that's my quick advice for how to do organic bio.
Awesome. And you'll have to give us any more in-progress paintings up in the Reinventing app, because you've been updating. You know how to update to it.
Oh my gosh, I know. I need to.
We'll definitely want to follow the progress of this painting.
Oh yes, absolutely. That'd be awesome. Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
And then Tanner, you want to give everybody your contact info, and we'll show off your painting, and then.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can just find me on Instagram at Tattoos by Tanner Pratt. It's all one word, no underscores or anything. And then I've got this skull octopus thing I've been working on. Let's see if I can.
Good light source.
Cool.
Very metal.
So
yeah, that's metal.
Yeah,
Tanner.
it's getting there. Thanks.
That looks cool. I like the bubbles coming up too. Sweet.
I like the glowy tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Yeah. Awesome.
It kind of reminds me
Thank
of
you
like
so much, Gabe. Again.
Yeah, absolutely. That reminds us we should definitely be going. If anybody's part of the Reinventing the Tattoo subscriber base, 9:00, just head on over to the app or the community. And otherwise, we will catch up tomorrow at 10:00. Is the building of Paul Rogers prefab tattoo machine with Tony Urbanek. Everyone's building a tattoo machine by hand with hand tools and shit. It's pretty crazy. Wednesday, History of Tattoo Conventions. Yeah, just check out the event schedule. And thank you very much, Renee and Tanner, and we will catch up in the future. I'm definitely down with helping webcasts. These are very fun to do, and someday we'll have 1,000 more viewers. But until then, we'll just keep having fun doing it ourselves.
Exactly.
But, cheers. Well, thanks again. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Thanks.